what's good? It's Phil Easy with the Papi Negro podcast. And here I got with me comedian Robert Bass.
What it do?
And I got hero.
Regular ass nigga here.
He was already laughing.
And I got my dog behind the boards, Azam.
Yeah, I'm tired again, as always.
This nigga's always tired. He always got the same face of defeated. You know what's so funny, bro? I don't even know how I feel right now because I got two live wires next to me. They might say anything crazy. They laughing because they're biting their tongue.
No, okay. I'm not gonna say shit.
I swear to God, if you guys make my job harder about editing this
I'm not gonna say
podcast,
shit. Like I'm just
No,
saying
you will.
I'm gonna be one of those broadcasters like where the one dude is talking and the other broadcaster is like.
No, you're not. Don't tell lies.
Oh, whatever.
And then look over a couple times
To see if you agree.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All right, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, man. So I had an interesting day yesterday.
Oh boy.
I went to. I got hero.
Like he already laughing.
I'm ready.
No, bro. Like I brought a date to a wedding, and the thing I was thinking about that is like, even though you bring a date to the wedding, you just look at other females you see. They're like, dang, some bad bitches there. It's a bad. But my whole thing is just like, do I be an ancient nigga and try? Would you have done that though? Like, would you try to be an ancient dude and be like, "Hey, what a little mom?" Like,
No. I think
I didn't do that.
I think bringing a date to a wedding, believe it or not, is actually pretty good. Because it shows her mind frame. Because there's a part in the wedding reception where they got to throw the bouquet. You have to
You know what?
see-
I lucked out. Hold on. I got a writer, bro. We were talking. She's like, "Oh, when it comes to that, I like pretend I got to go to the bathroom or chill in the cut."
Okay.
So we were just chilling
See,
doing all this
and
shit.
that's the gift. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if she one of them motherfuckers, like, she see the chick coming out to the floor and she's already out there. Like,
Oh, no,
like,
dude.
I'm not even going to wait for you to ask where the single lady's at. Here I am.
No,
Like,
I can't have that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, on the other hand, like, unless you really think you're going to fuck one of these bitches from the wedding, then it don't really matter.
Oh, you can't do that shit.
I think it depends,
Yeah,
though.
you can. You can. I'm not saying it's right,
Hold on.
but you can.
Rob, you told me you post some shit like that?
Huh?
That nigga.
Huh? Like, no, I'm talking not from my own experience.
It's what
All
you've
I'm
seen
saying-
sitting on the bench other
What
people
I'm
do.
saying is, yeah, like, you can do it. It can happen. It just really depends on where you are.
Like you said, because I know from what you explained, she was it was like a friend's wedding,
Yeah.
you know, and also she wasn't really like a solid like date. It was like let's come with me. That's how you described it. At
Yeah,
least.
like me and her.
And it was a Spanish
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
First off, there's weddings and there's Spanish weddings. Like, I fuck with Spanish people hard. I know y'all don't
But the
believe
thing is,
that
her husband-
from the last podcast.
Oh,
but, but listen, I fuck with Spanish people hard because for whatever reason, Spanish people, even if they don't really know you, they show love.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you walk in and they like, "Oh, this is my friend Robert." "Oh, Roberto." "No, that's not my name." But, "Oh, shit, you gonna kiss me on both cheeks?" "Okay, bitch, we
No,
fucking."
bro.
Like,
I
you
learned
know
the
what I
hard
mean?
way. You can't do that shit to everybody, bro.
Yeah.
I learned that shit the hard way. I have a homeboy who's Colombian, right?
Like, you
And
can't-
he was Colombian, his girl's Cuban, right? So we went to. He was having the.
Narco. I'm sorry.
So I went to. He was having the thing at his house at PGA. So you come in there. I know the principal. You kiss everyone on the cheek, adults, whatever, like that. And I guess his grandma does not. Nah.
Oh, no.
Nah,
negro.
nigga, no.
No
I went
negro.
to kiss her in the cheek. This bitch was like,
Ay, que sucio,
bro, she did the Matrix on me, bro.
No negro.
She looked like I was trying to.
negro.
She looked like I was trying to rip her earring off her ear with my mouth. And like the further I went in, she was
She
like,
didn't know if he was gonna kidnap her or not.
I'm just like, she's with all her people. Ever since then, I just wave at niggas, bro. I just be like,
no,
hello,
and I
hello,
mean,
hello, how you
even me,
doing?
I don't go in like for the kiss on the cheek. Like, it just happened. It caught me off guard. I was like, is this shit normal?
I say go for the church hug and see what they do.
Yeah, that's
But,
it.
like,
Oh, hey, how you doing?
They
Oh,
go for
oh.
the kiss and give it back, but other than no, I just give them the half.
No, I just give a hug.
Yeah,
but
so I'm sorry. I took that somewhere else.
No,
But that
I'm
was my
fine
whole
with
thing.
it.
That's my whole thing about the wedding you went to. There's white weddings, black weddings,
but
and
the,
then there's
the dude is white.
Spanish weddings.
There's the dude is white. The
Yeah, no,
girl's
he's
brother.
Spanish now. I saw your Snapchat.
Yeah.
No, he's Spanish now.
Yeah, they were
Matter of
playing-
fact, you come over now and be like, "Hey, Papi!"
Yeah.
Like, he's
Ya tú sabes, baby, how you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
Perosito.
You want a mojito? Like, he
Mi
is
nombre es
Spanish
Papi
now.
Negro.
Exactly. He's
Yeah.
Spanish now. Like, that everything that you showed on your Snapchat, like there was no non-Spanish music. Not that I'm saying there's an issue. Like what I'm saying is like that was a Spanish wedding. Because
It was
generally,
the dopest wedding I've ever been to because
and I
while
don't
you
doubt
sitting
it.
down chilling, they're like it was like Texas to Brazil. They're like, hey, would you like some teriyaki chicken?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
No.
I'm gonna get two of them motherfuckers.
And there's no underlying punchline. Like Spanish people know how to get down.
But you know what? This is the thing is that what I learned in Spanish, like festivities, all their liquor is not the same.
No.
Like,
No.
you know, like you drink a little Henny, you know, you feel a little strong, you chilling. My homeboy's Colombian, he got married. I had something called aguardiente, bro.
Oh!
Dude, listen. Nigga, I drank this shit. Nigga, I drink this shit. I'm in the mix. I'm dancing.
This shit must be good.
I'm dancing, but I'm dancing. I'm dancing, right? Yo, as soon as the end of the party, nigga, I'm in my feelings.
Yo.
I was so emotional,
Call
bro.
that Drake juice. You be feeling yourself by the end. You're
Damn,
like,
Drake juice. That's good shit. Listen, I'm different. I watch people face when they offer me a drink.
Yeah.
And I watch for the disclaimer.
So if
Because
they pass it like
a lot of times, motherfuckers will give you a disclaimer and you're just not listening because you like, fuck it, I know how to drink. But if a motherfucker be like, whoa, Papi, listen. Oh, I'm
so
listening.
much.
Because what that says to me is whatever they about to fucking give me ain't the normal shit. Like, we bring this shit out for special occasions. Like, bitch, this been fermenting
Yeah.
all year waiting for this wedding.
Oh,
okay,
dude.
I'm not. Okay.
so it's like if you have beef with certain people, it's gonna come out.
Yeah, like.
Truth serum.
Woo. Like, you can't be at a wedding with a bitch you don't like.
Oh, no.
Because then you drink that. Like, I can't even fucking say it. So now I'm pissed off because, one, I can't pronounce what the fuck I done drunk.
Yeah.
And just put an O on the end of that bitch.
Oh no, bro.
And then I'm mad. Bitch, you know why I'm mad. You know why I'm mad. I came to your house last time. Everybody else gave me 2 kisses on the cheek. You gave me 1. And it was half-assed. Like, I'm not.
I didn't know for the longest that certain liquor make you feel a certain way.
It does.
Like first time I drank Hennessy, nigga, I felt powerful. I felt like I wanted
That's
to
why they
fight all
say-
the adventures. Like I felt
Anything
like-
is possible.
bro. I felt
anything truly is possible.
I love Hennessy.
Yo,
I
that's
love-
why,
I love
and that's
anything
why I
brown.
don't fuck with it.
Anything
Like,
dark.
for real,
hold on.
I love anything dark.
This nigga's so.
Yeah, I
woke.
believe
He's
that.
all
No,
black
no, I
everything.
I was literally when I saw your shirt, I was like, oh, okay. We're
Yeah,
on
he
that.
like anything. I'm like,
I've never felt so white on a podcast recording till today.
yo,
Yo.
Hero is so. He's the type of nigga you eating chocolate ice cream. He's like, there go Phil again. He don't even want nothing. He don't want nothing brown in his mouth, huh? Y'all here want to eat vanilla ice cream, but you have a delicious chocolate sundae you can eat.
Amen.
That's the type of
Wow.
nigga Hero.
Oh, he one of them.
Yeah,
Yo.
he's one of
Oh.
he's lucky. This one girl, right? This one girl said she was messing with a white dude. This nigga looked. You know when you
The look
cough a
of disgust.
loogie? You know when you cough a loogie? You know when you hack a loogie? And he was like, ugh. He made that face like, ugh. I'm like, damn, bro. I don't mean
Wow.
yeah, he's very woke. Like, I'm blacker than black.
But, like-
but you don't, by the way he looks, he don't look like that.
Yo.
No, he been laughing
Yeah.
since he got here.
Because
So
he's
it's
holding
like,
back
oh, he-
vile shit.
I walk in, this man's telling like a hilarious story. I'm in the middle of it. It just sounds hilarious.
Yeah, oh,
Shit
yeah,
going in
the-
from last week. But nah, one of the worst lies I told her, I felt guilty. Someone was going in on Phil over here talking about, all you love is white girls, and I felt like I had to speak up for Phil. I'm like, nah, Phil loves the black women. Phil's talking to a black girl right now. He loves them. He loves chocolate. That's all he fucks.
I do. I love them all. I love them all.
I felt so guilty.
You know what? And it's a fucked up thing because I get that every now and then because I've dated outside my race. Now my girlfriend currently is black. Yeah. When she get mad, I guess you're gonna go find a white bitch. And it's like, first off, I don't have to find one. They're everywhere. I don't say that. I think it because again, she's black.
Nigga, you know she's gonna watch this.
She ain't
Right?
gonna watch this shit.
That's what. So you think I wasn't gonna watch this shit, huh, Robert? I can see that happening too.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there. Put like an Easter egg out there. Like, shit, nigga ain't watched the last one. Oh, I see you. Oh, I
That's
see
a
you
good,
did it.
That's a good way to see if she supports you.
Ooh.
Oh, no, it ain't. No,
yeah,
it
it
ain't.
is.
No, it
yeah,
ain't.
it is.
I already know. We gonna move on.
Okay, all right. This is the thing about here. Like, I've only
Damn, I
been
should
to
not have left my drink in the car. No, go ahead.
You want to go get your drink?
No.
No,
We're good right
we need
now.
that, Robert. We need that.
No, that Robert is here. That other Robert, it'd be like somebody else that I was talking about. I ain't gonna say no name.
Okay, all right. Niggas start.
Shots, man. Shots.
But no, but like,
Step back, Jay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, I guess I'm bleeping something. Like, yeah.
Damn.
That too?
Yeah.
but,
Nah.
Don't be mean to people who aren't here.
the nigga,
Jay.
I do too.
when he drank, that boy different. We all it's established.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
You said it on the podcast,
Yeah.
staring directly
But
into
the way
camera.
he said it, he was like, "That's the dad jokes he does puns, and it makes me want to punch him in the temple."
But I mean, it also goes back to what you was originally saying. Like, different drinks make you do different things. Gin make you sin. I don't know why. I can't drink gin. It make me hornier than a motherfucker. Like, I be like ready to, it's like liquid Viagra.
Were you drinking gin in Miami?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. I'd probably still be in Miami. Like,
I'm going to the Miami Improv. I don't know what I'm gonna get into, bro. Like,
yo, no, it's a nice little setup.
Just make
but
good
that's-
choices and don't,
no.
don't-
It's a
don't
nice
say
little
anything
setup. I
stupid.
mean, and it really depends on what you're going for and things of
Wait,
that
hold
nature.
on.
But that's something
Speaking of
totally
which,
different.
since I have Mr. Wokey Woke here, bro,
Oh shit.
Wokeness.
well, how do you feel?
Wokey
This is like complete non sequitur.
All right.
How do you feel about Botham's brother hugging the killer?
I didn't like it.
How did you
I
feel?
thought that
See,
was very simpish, very low level, low self esteem type shit. Like if I get killed, don't hug my killer. Like
No.
I don't want marches. I don't want no candlelit vigils. You feel me? If I die that way, I want rioting. At least 2 storefronts better be busted. At least 2.
Wow.
yeah, that's
You know what? I actually that was chiller than what I thought you were gonna
No,
say.
no. And
That was way chiller than I thought.
Personally, I don't want an air of forgiveness when it comes to getting justice for my death if I die that kind of way. That's just me personally.
so just one question.
Fair enough.
One question.
Fair enough.
Where are these 2 storefronts?
Not our neighborhoods, of course.
Okay, thank
Not
you.
our
All right,
neighborhoods.
then I 100% back him. Like, fuck that.
no.
Like, when you said it, I was like, yeah, bitch, riot.
throw a chair through
Yeah,
Starbucks.
but motherfucker, don't fuck up the Family Dollar, because that's, y'all got that.
Yes,
Yeah.
please walk in first and make sure check for the store.
No.
Yeah.
No,
You're out.
just drive
Do you
out
own
of the
this
neighborhood.
store? All right, bro, we good. You good. Don't worry about it.
Hero, microphone to the mouth.
My bad, man.
Walking around it.
My
I was literally
bad,
saying
man.
before Mike, I'm
This
like,
nigga
you
here, bro.
evade a microphone like
Isn't
you're
that
fighting
natural
it.
for
Yeah,
me?
because
It's
he
not
woke.
natural.
He woke and he
Yeah,
woke.
yeah, you woke.
He
Yeah,
don't want,
you
he
so
don't,
woke.
he don't want anything
Yeah, you-
hard by his
Yeah,
mouth.
you
Hell no,
get that bullshit away from
I
me.
don't even eat vegetables over 5 inches, nigga.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you give me the microphone with the black end? You gave me the silver end. This is
Yeah.
wrong.
Fuck a carrot.
The black man always got to hold something up to his mouth for support. I feel
hate
that
y'all
would be
niggas.
Yeah. Like,
one
fuck
of the thing I thought about though.
trying
is
to
like,
demasculize me. Go ahead.
one of the things I thought about, bro, is like when you forgive on a level like that, that puts a lot of pressure on you.
On who?
On that, like him doing that,
Yeah.
nigga, like so.
He
Instance,
can't
like,
do nothing else.
so if everyone tries him, they're gonna be like, oh well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So him hugging her, I feel like whatever he does in life, we know like, oh, it's like if like how Drake talks to Meek Mill, even though Meek Mill did all that shit to them. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not even the part that really irked me because I expected that some black people would have the whole forgiveness thing. Oh, forgive the killer.
The
Yada,
forgiveness
yada,
part.
yada.
Yeah.
But the part that really pissed me off was the fact that the judge literally
That was
got
bullshit.
Down and
That
had,
was
like,
fucking
had, like, a
bullshit.
group hug with the killer. Like that part's pissed me off. Like because I've never seen a judge get down from the stand to hug a defendant convicted that just got convicted.
Yeah.
Didn't want to talk about this.
Oh, dude, we got
On the
to,
way,
bro.
on the way here, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm gonna stay back and I'm gonna stay low key.
Yeah.
And the reason for it is to piggyback on what you just stated. Like the forgiveness part, I understand. Okay, you like I grew up under the Christian faith, so in that we're taught to forgive. Where my problem came in is, see, first and foremost, a motherfucker can say anything.
All right.
I can say you fucked me over and I forgive you. Don't mean I mean it.
Yeah.
But then when you go as far as saying, if I had it my way, I wouldn't want her to go to jail.
That's wild.
And then you get up and hug her. Side note, did you see how her booty moved? when you
bro,
hugged her?
she got yo.
Yo,
I was like, she got a little ass.
I was like, maybe
Dog.
I'll hug her.
Bro,
But
bro.
I'm sorry, hero.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
Y'all
You
are
fine,
the
man.
monsters.
Dude. I felt so bad.
I didn't.
I was like, damn, she got a little
I'm like,
ass.
I was like, oh shit, maybe that's the underlying reason why she killed him, because maybe he didn't want to fuck
Yeah,
with
because
her.
from what I read, that was like some jealousy, love triangle type shit.
And then she was racist. But
Of course.
sticking to what we're talking about, my problem came in with if I had my way, I wouldn't want her to go to jail.
I
And the
think
hug
him
part.
saying that influenced that 10 years.
Yeah,
That's what the
yeah.
jurors
Because
said.
100%.
here's
That's what the jurors
fucked
said.
up part. Here's the fucked up part.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, I'm sorry, I got to get my
Let it out,
going.
let it out, let it out, let it out.
This
The
motherfucker
ancestors.
got damn near the same sentence as OJ, and OJ didn't kill nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
OJ was trying.
OJ just stole his shit
Wait
back.
a minute. OJ was not convicted of killing no one.
OJ stole his
He may
shit
not have
back.
been convicted, but
No.
OJ definitely did
Wait,
that
hold
shit.
on.
OJ did
We're
that
not
shit.
we're not gonna go into public opinion. Right now, we're gonna go into facts. OJ was acquitted. Now
He was
I'm with
acquitted.
you. Listen,
He did that shit.
it doesn't. The point you missing was there's no with her. She was convicted. It's on paper. She was convicted. I'm not disagreeing with you about OJ. I felt that way when the motherfucker got in.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Social
100%.
Security
Yeah,
case
oh, he did
in
that
the
shit.
Bronco.
Don't get
But
me wrong, I was proud he
she
got
was
away.
convicted of murder. OJ was convicted of trying to steal his shit back. And you got the same amount of time. And
it's probably gonna be 6 years with good
and then,
behavior.
Yeah, listen here, I'm not gonna use no racist tone. No, fuck that, because I said something about the Mexicans last year. Listen here, Aunt your mama. Don't get your ass off the stand and fucking come and hug her. Like, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, what that says to me is that although you look like us,
Yeah.
you don't think like us.
But her biggest fundraiser,
Because you
her
just
biggest,
fuck
Was from the
well,
police,
it was
the Dallas police
union.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of expected it after the fact, but I
No,
never seen that
fuck
before.
that.
Where a judge
And the
got down.
bailiff. I'm gonna need you.
Oh,
your
yeah, when he was
fucking-
brushing her fucking
what
hair,
the fuck
I was
was
like,
you
you
brushing her
weird.
hair for? I take that back. I don't have a problem with what the bailiff was doing
Yeah.
because it's gonna be a big black bitch in jail
No,
that's
but
gonna be
I
brushing
read,
her
but
hair
I read
while
that,
she eating out.
But I read that the bailiff was like
you know.
checking for like weapons. I think. From
No,
what I read,
that's
that
bullshit.
some people
That's
said
bullshit.
All
Somebody
right.
had to say,
I didn't know.
listen.
I've never been in court that long.
No. Not that I have either, but it was 3 black people that fucked up that day.
Exactly.
The brother, in our opinion. The
Yeah.
brother, the judge, and the bailiff. We had to save one. So we went with the bailiff. It made
then-
sense. Oh, she was just trying to check for weapons. Bitch, she was checked when y'all brought her out the fucking jail.
And after
You
the
know-
fact, the dad was like, "Oh, once she gets out, I want to be friends with her." I'm
I'm
like,
like, what
the
is
fuck outta
what are you
here.
I'm
doing?
like, did Jordan Peele direct this
I
shit?
don't.
This shit don't even make no
Yeah.
fucking sense.
I don't need the energy
Yeah.
if
So-
I get killed. I don't need that.
But
kind
my
of
whole
energy.
thing is this: if she gets out, she owe that brother something, bro.
So here's my thing.
You gonna tell me she don't? I'm just saying, that dude.
No,
not
because she's
fucking with
gonna
niggas
be
again.
more racist when she
Oh,
comes
yeah,
out.
she'll be a
So what if
Fox
she
News
accidentally
contributor.
kills someone after she gets out?
She's not fucking with niggas
Hey,
again.
She's not.
No.
She's not
Malcolm
at all.
was her
Matter
last
of
black
fact.
dick.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Matter
Yeah.
of fact.
Oh, that's banned too.
I
I just fucked with my brain.
I stopped for a moment so that people can let that sink in, and then I'm gonna move on because I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna
I'm not
entertain
gonna,
that. We're gonna
like,
let
I'm not
that
gonna be
a
like,
thing.
oh, that's kind of fucked up to say because you're probably right. Listen, what? Okay, I'm gonna talk to you from personal experience. So
Let it out.
I went through a situation 5 years ago wherein my brother was killed.
Right.
The difference was my brother was the reason he was killed. And it wasn't by a police officer. But if you just give me a moment, I'll tell you how it ties in. So what ultimately ends up happening is my brother gets killed, and then the police come around. They got to do the investigation. And so when my mom finally goes to the police station, then they kind of reveal to her, well, here's the thing. The guy that killed him turned himself in, and he claimed that it was self-defense. And so in the conversation between the police and my brother's friends, it was determined that this guy's story had relevance and that he probably killed my brother in self-defense. I believe that, I understand that, and I accept that. The only way I'm hugging this motherfucker is if my arm is around his neck and I'm trying to choke him out.
That's fair enough.
That's the
That's
real.
still your brother.
And I know that my brother put himself in that situation. Now,
It's because that loss.
because of that
that
loss.
that
Now
pain,
you're
yeah.
talking about a young man who was sitting on the couch eating ice cream. First off,
chilling.
what is the ice cream is a fucked up thing for me because I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I was
That
literally
is the
thinking that the
only-
entire time. I don't know a
That's
single
the
brown
only,
person who does not
that's
have
the only
lactose
thing
issue.
in my life that makes ice cream violent. Is the shit that I'm gonna have after I eat it. But this man is sitting in his
That's
apartment.
the most defenseless shit.
like
Eating
I
ice
cannot-
cream.
That's like me.
And they found weed in his apartment. They're like, oh, we found.
Let's not go there.
But my whole
let me-
thing is like, you know how defensive you chilling, you had a little
Yo.
herb, you eating ice
Yo.
cream. Like, what is
He
the
is
nigga?
definitely in his boxers more
He's
than likely.
chilling. What, tube
That's
socks
like-
and a do rag on?
That's like me going down to one of the alphabet streets with ice cream. Like, what's up, my nigga? Like, bitch, that don't even look right. You're
And
not
the
a
shit is-
thug. You
and the
not
shit is
hard.
dripping down your
It's dripping
forearm.
down your- oh, shit.
It don't
Like-
make no sense.
It doesn't. And then the whole weed thing, to me, that's just what America does.
Dude, they announced the weed was found in his apartment before she was arrested.
Yeah. Because you, never mind, because that's not where we're going with this. Okay, what's this?
Hey.
Nah, man,
Listen, that's what America does. And now I'm about to get on my hero shit.
Uh-oh.
That's what America does. In a situation like this, wherein it's cut and dry who's right and who's wrong, if the victim is black, they find a way to demonize him. So let's forget about the fact that he was in his apartment eating ice cream, not being a nuisance to anyone. Oh, we subsequently found weed in his apartment. You talking about the apartment that nobody should have been in? You talking about the same apartment where the woman walked in and killed him? Like, that's the whole thing. So, I mean, that even goes back to the Michael Brown situation. Oh, well, you know, prior to them killing him, he stole cigars, and then it came out. No, it was on the bartering system. Now, granted, it was still weed for cigars, but he wasn't trying to steal nothing. But you want to justify him losing his life for fucking cigars?
Yeah.
You want to justify this young man losing his life because he had weed that you wouldn't known he had weed had you not walked in his apartment.
But the
and killed
crazy
him?
thing about
See,
that,
that's why I
thinking,
didn't want to talk about
the
it.
thing I was thinking about is like, yo, bro, like even though he hugged her, I'm like, yo, bro, like if you went to visit your brother then, you would have been hurt. You would have killed too.
Like, huh?
Yeah, facts. He would have
He
been,
would have
he'd
been
have
killed
been a body
too.
bag
Let's
too.
say if he was just
Yeah,
chilling.
he would have been.
He
He would
would've-
have been dead too.
So
So
it's just
now what I can argue is it was two of them, as opposed to one. So I had to kill both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I
Well,
would have hugged the bitch, I would have been like, yeah, no. Fuck all
and the
that
crazy
forgiveness
part
shit
on
that I
top of
said.
that-
I hope a bitch shivs you in the shower hard, ho. All right, God loves you.
You know one thing I didn't like? I didn't like on the internet. They're like, oh, he Haitian, so him hugging her was the
Was voodoo?
yeah, it was
nah.
the final end of the curse. I was like, dang, bro. They're St. Lucian, damn it.
But the part that really hurt me as just as a black man was the part, you know, where they're interviewing some of the jurors. Sorry, I don't know if I said that right. The jurors.
No, you said
and they're
it how
like
you
trying to
meant it.
find reasons to like they're explaining, oh, well, the brother hugged her, so I don't think she deserved the full 26 years, whatever they're trying to give her at first.
Is she?
And then they're like
maximum
they're trying
sentence
to
was
find
99.
Like they're putting out reasons why they're justified in reducing the sentence incrementally to where they're like, oh, even though some people said 10 years was too little, but I thought it might have been too much because the whole family forgave her. Yeah, I'm just like, I never want to be in a position where like I'm looking down from heaven. I'm like, God damn, y'all niggas just don't care about me. You feel me?
Yeah, because
Like, that's
I mean,
what it feels like.
How long did it take them to come back with the verdict? Wasn't it like
Like the same day, basically.
it was like some
Very very little deliberation.
I could be wrong. So
Yeah.
let me put that out there. But I think it was less than an hour.
Yeah.
So you could come to the conclusion, nah, this bitch murdered him
Yeah.
in less than an hour, but because the brother hugged him, let's give her 10 years.
Nah, she ain't mean it.
And
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't mean it.
And what it proved to me was that if it was any less obvious that she was in the wrong, she definitely would have gotten off free, or they would have found some way to say he was at fault.
Oh yeah, they would.
'Cause
find
the
out.
I
fact-
think
Absolutely.
Because I don't know if you know this, but the guy that one of the people that actually was the witness for the prosecutor.
Yeah, he got killed.
He got killed recently, and also one of the girls that were videotaped the aftermath, like of her getting out the apartment, and all that stuff. She was fired from her job. She had to move away. She was getting death threats and all that
Well,
stuff.
one nigga just
It's
got killed.
Texas. I don't know why people
No,
are
I'm just
shocked by
saying,
this.
I'm
Exactly.
not. I mean, fuck.
Oh, you're right.
Half of
The
Texas-
witness, the key.
Yeah.
He dead.
Yo.
Yeah, the girl. She's
Yo.
fucking gone.
yeah.
Yeah,
She didn't even give her real name, but somehow people found her.
Yeah, the
Texas.
dude-
So
So, like, we just going to totally overlook the fact that all of Texas wasn't Texas?
Of
Like,
course. No,
that's,
you're
like,
right.
Part
You're
of
right.
Mexico, so if you could take Mexico, fuck the Alamo and all that
You're
shit.
right.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's get to
This
the funny
nigga here.
shit. Let's get to the funny
Yeah.
shit.
Yo.
Now I don't feel so funny right now. Like I feel like people are like, wait a minute. He used to tell these jokes and we thought he was just joking. No, bitch. All right, let's go.
Yo.
Okay.
Talk about that bitch doing porn.
That was really weird
wow.
that was the number one thing he put on.
No, but there was just like
I mean, it technically ties in.
Yeah.
It was number
They
one.
both were
It
taking
was
black
the
dick.
first thing.
It was the very first thing.
The thing that was weird is because like
No.
I was on
the
Google.
whole thing was weird. But go ahead.
I was on Google and I saw that like it's always weird because like I noticed most actors that end up doing porn, they were in children's shows. Actors in children's shows end up wilding out the most.
With the exception
but
of
like-
Tretch.
That makes sense though.
With the exception of Tretch. Tretch was never a kid star from Naughty by Nature. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in
Yeah.
a rap group called 90 by Nature.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
expected
He did
that.
porn.
He
He
did
did
porn.
You know how weird it is you're
Okay.
chilling with your homeboys and they're like, yo, you saw that new Tretch?
Yeah. No.
The video now nigga porn. Like no one wants to care or see some shit like that.
No,
you
you
gotta
right.
question your friends as to some bullshit like that.
You right?
But no, like as we're saying that like most child actors
Bro, we gonna get this on the camera?
It's on, yeah, it's
nigga.
fine.
Oh, my bad.
It's cool. I'm literally just gonna put up there were technical difficulties.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I was waiting for you to count down, and I'm like,
No,
That's
this
why I
is-
was like,
I was
ah.
like, black people. They
No,
just start
to
talking
Phil's
and
incredible credit, he found a way to. I was like, oh my god, he's an incredible.
way to
host.
fuck it up.
And then Robert just went, fuck all that noise.
But no, real talk. If you think about it, most child
I'm sorry.
most child actors they usually fuck up the worst. If you think about or do shit that's more wild, like that one girl in Family Matters,
Yeah,
and I believe one.
but that wasn't her fault.
But
They sent her upstairs, and the motherfucker never came back down.
But I'm
And Gary Coleman.
Like,
Gary Coleman was on here.
No, but they like
No,
stole
he
his
was-
money. They
yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
they
his
was, like
life
touched as a
sucked.
kid.
and that goes to my point that sometimes it's not really their fault. Like,
But I'm
you-
saying it's just that them kids from the town,
But
like
it's expected
Demi
though.
Lovato.
It's expected though. That's
Demi
like
Lovato's
that's
one.
so much fame
Nah, I
and
would-
money at a young age,
It is.
and you don't really know if your parents have the integrity to really let that money sit for
Exactly.
you, or if they're gonna use it all, or what kind of parties you're gonna be sent to.
But like, you
Yeah.
can't
Touch
use the
you.
argument for her that
But
like
even, wait, hold on. No,
she
no,
wild.
Wait,
wait. But even worse than that, then it's like you come up in a time where you're highly successful.
Exactly.
And
As
if
a
your
kid.
and if your parents don't have integrity, they're
Exactly.
giving you everything they want in
Exactly.
hopes that you don't notice how much they stealing from
Exactly.
you. Demi Lovato, I would love to see her in the porn. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
she's-
just something
she's
about
cute.
her.
Oh, she's
She's a
dope,
white
right?
girl. I'd let you know.
Whoa.
wow,
Yeah.
Demi Lovato's
Yeah.
the line.
I wouldn't marry her, but I'd fuck her.
Wow.
If I was single.
We
if I
are
was-
having
Wait,
If I was
wait,
in a
wait.
single vacuum.
I have,
Haitian men
I,
don't
wait,
cheat.
I have
You already-
questions. I have questions.
What's up?
Is there a white girl that you would cross the line for? That
But
you
hold
would
on,
like
my whole
Harry?
thing is like,
Yeah,
Demi
would
Lovato,
you-
She's
is
like
there-
mixed
I
though.
know.
She's like,
she's I
got
think
some
half
Spanish-
white, half Latino.
yeah.
But is there a white girl you'd cross the demarcation line
That's,
for?
that's like mixing cream and milk. It's not really
This
mixed.
nigga.
Ignore
Wow,
what he
I-
just said.
Wow.
I
Like,
want to
and
know
then-
this answer. Is there
It made sense.
Like Mary? Nah.
is there mil- is there milk you drink?
Nah, not
Chocolate
Mary.
milk.
Not Mary. I don't find straight hair overly attractive, or like the thin wound-looking lips. That's not
Okay,
cute for
look,
me.
let's stop right there.
Or
We
pale
stopped.
skin.
We stopped building white girls like that 10 years ago.
You sure?
Oh, they're a rarity now.
Don't even look
White
at
girls
me,
with
nigga.
flat
Don't
asses
even-
and no lips are
Listen,
are going
listen,
extinct.
listen.
Don't even do me
Listen,
like
the limited amount of white women that I find physically attractive all have like black girl features.
Yeah.
So they're like dark white, you know.
Okay. 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 All right. I'll let that
But-
ride.
Nigga
Nah.
gotta get his drink.
I was like,
It's just not
That's
me.
the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Robert had to get the power up juice.
I was raised.
Yeah.
I was raised different, you know.
But
no, I get that.
And I'm not knocking it. I mean, everybody has the right to like what they like. You fucking caught me off guard. Oh, Demi,
Niggas-
yeah. Demi is one. What? Hold on.
cute.
Motherfucker, I thought.
Thick
like,
Demi, not like drugged up Demi.
No, I'm with
Oh,
you.
Even
yeah.
when she was drugged up, she was thick. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No.
She wasn't.
out
She
here.
wasn't thick. We want
Yeah.
the healthy thick, not the.
Yes.
You big boned it, and so you can't help but be
She's
thick.
more
but I
like
can
wide
see-
faced than thick because she has a big head. So
You
Boom.
pay.
Nigga
Wait,
here.
hold on.
That-
Hold on.
Boom.
Somebody who don't fuck with, you know
He
an
has
awful lot
preferences.
about her
This is
dimensions.
the trap
Like,
I was looking
like,
for.
he like, yeah, I mean, she got like the big head
but-
and da da da.
Okay, so
Whoa.
I'm 24, so I more or less grew up with her. I remember
Okay.
seeing her as a kid, like on Disney Channel,
Okay.
on all those little movies, TV movies and stuff. So I've seen a lot of Demi. So I've like come accustomed to her. You
Okay.
feel me? That's what I mean. I know what she looks like. I've seen her stages.
Nigga here.
Okay.
You follow her on the gram, dog?
No, not at all. But she was all
Okay.
over the gram when she went through that whole heroin. With
Oh
the
yeah,
heroin.
she on the gram still.
She was
now?
on
popping
something.
off doing dumb shit.
I haven't seen her since, so I guess she went to rehab. So
No, I don't follow on Instagram.
But my whole point is that like that one girl from Boy
Meets World.
Meets World
Yeah.
starts doing porn. So
But like you can't. The demarcation line's not like that. It's not like she like had no career. Like she was getting acting roles regularly. Then she started doing cosplay. Then she
how
got
the
into
fuck
doing
does cosplay go to porn? I don't
because
get-
nerds.
it's a natural.
Do
that
you
is
know
actually-
what nerds
That's
will pay
natural.
for?
Yes.
Cosplay is the gateway drug to
Yes.
porn.
Yeah, bro.
Money goes
No.
up. Once you start
Yeah.
taking things off,
Yo.
the money goes up.
Here's the thing.
Ah.
And you,
It's like reading rainbow
I didn't-
pornography in
I
this
didn't look
place.
at it that way, but I'm gonna tell you, Street Fighter.
Oh
Any-
yeah.
Have you ever seen the women that dress up like Chun Li?
Or
Yo.
what's the white girl from Street
Yo.
Fighter with the fucking
Like-
one piece? Yeah.
Like, yo,
Cammy?
Yeah,
it is
Cammy.
some-
Yeah.
And then you also have to take in consideration the ones that are slightly delusional, but their delusion works. Like the ones that are not skinny, so they can't pull off Laura Croft, but they dress like Laura Croft, and you're like, yeah.
But it really depends. It's usually like the
Yeah.
but it really depends because like it depends on the bigness. I know what you're saying like girls that limit between being thick and chubby.
Right.
Like if a girl dresses like that and she looks like Laura Croft, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Even if she don't, it's like, oh, I wish Laura Croft looked like that on my PlayStation. Like,
I never know.
so yeah, no.
I never knew that, but it makes sense because
Yeah.
like niggas already being like, oh
But
my
like,
god.
yeah, that's
she's-
the.
Because a lot of them
it's like
start
she
off
was-
with like video streaming and stuff.
Yeah, she was really successful at that, and then producers got to her because it's like when you were like, again, this is the first thing I was like, first of all, what actress is this? Boy Meets World is my favorite show from my childhood,
Yeah,
and I
I
was like,
I
oh,
hope it
it's,
was with Topanga, by the
I,
way.
no, it
yeah. If you had said it
I
was
was
Danielle
hoping it was
Fishel,
Topanga.
I'm fighting everything.
I don't think Topanga's. Wait, hold on. You're gonna tell me the only white girl is Demi Lovato, but
okay,
Topanga.
fuck that
No,
shit.
As a kid, as a little kid,
I
Topanga
was
that.
I was
She had the
fucking
black
in
girl
love
in
with
it.
her.
Big old
Yeah, yeah,
I
yes,
thought she was mixed for a while.
yo,
I thought she was
Topanga
mixed.
was banging. I know.
yes.
But I mean, that's easy for me to say. Like, I'm not the one over here that's militant. Like, you know,
Not at
hey,
all.
fuck white women. Like, you know, I ain't that dude.
No,
Like,
I-
and then all of a sudden, well, there's a couple white women. Like, well, what the fuck? I'm gonna need you to make up your mind. Is there some? Is there
I wouldn't
none?
marry one, but I'll fuck
Okay,
one
so
or two
you'll
if it
fuck
comes
them.
up.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
different.
My
My dick is way less discriminating.
anyway.
I love this.
Wow.
shit. But anyway, what I was trying to say,
All pussy is pink, baby.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
I fucked.
the
I
man
love my
knows-
girl though.
The man knows.
Haitian men don't cheat.
the
That's already
man
established.
knows-
These are in a vacuum.
the man knows himself, and
Yeah.
and I can't. He knows his truth.
But
right?
hold on. So I didn't even know. He was
Let's
like,
get into this porn because I only really have a minute of this porn in my mind.
because like
I did the backstory research for you guys.
yeah. So like the cosplay thing, and I saw it, bro. This is the funny thing, because when you watch porn, the acting is always so fucking horrible.
We had this conversation last time
We
where
did?
I watched it on mute.
Yeah.
But the thing is, her acting was
so
on
trash.
point. Her acting was on point because I was like, oh, all right. But the
It was
thing-
kinda trash.
But the thing
How
is,
horny were you when you was watching this shit?
Yeah,
I wasn't horny at all.
I came in unbiased because I really have a
Listen.
low level.
But the whole thing is
For
this:
white women.
Hold on,
I
hold
hope
on. Let
this
me
doesn't
explain.
come off the wrong
Rob,
way. But I've had a huge crush on you, bitch. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. So you and I both clicked on the same 1
Yeah,
minute.
Yeah. But
I
this
was
is
like,
the
oh,
thing.
this is fucking
Because
terrible.
Because I was looking at her,
Horrible.
and I was like, okay, it's not as bad as what you usually see on there. And then the thing that killed me, while they smashing, this bitch is trying to recite a whole monologue. I'm like, bitch, you doing too
It's
much.
funny because
I didn't even make it that far. But go ahead.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like it's funny because I was watching it and I went and think, okay, this is probably gonna be trash. I hate situational porn to begin with.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching it.
Are you another one?
Fuck them. We're here.
Thank you.
We're here.
I want some
get it.
amateur shit.
about let
I
these
want
niggas
some
go.
amateur
Monsters.
shaky cam. She might not know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're
She got-
a monster.
iPhone. I love those porn.
She got her
Because
durag. She got a
that
moo
shit seems that's
Nigga's not all the way hard, so she's like sucking it
shit.
extra.
Like you looking at it and like she giving him head and you thinking to yourself like that shit wouldn't do nothing for me and then she taking out her mouth and this shit kind of limp and you like that's real shit.
Thank you.
So I'm with you on that.
But
no,
I was watching
You
it
want
and
Cinema
I'm
Verde
thinking,
porn? That's like that's real life.
But I'm watching, I'm thinking, and I'm critiquing it like, wow, she's really bad at acting. I can see why she's doing porn. Like,
the thing is,
my dick wasn't even hard. I'm just thinking, God, she sucks.
Why I didn't even make it
She
long
was
enough?
overacting.
Yeah, I didn't
for
even
my
get
dick
to
to get
like.
hard.
I was flipping through.
And here's the thing, I didn't get like the 1 minute clip. Like I know I had
It was
whatever
like-
was the full enough video without me paying for it. The whole walking scene, like in the beginning of the video.
oh, I skipped through that.
I was like,
That's why you
wait
don't
a
get any
minute.
jobs.
What Boy Meets World was she on?
the last few seasons.
Yeah.
This bad body bitch. Like that was the first thing I said. This bad body bitch. Like, and I was thinking to myself, oh, she's an actress, and that went to porn. So maybe what I could take away from this is her body is banging. No, it looked like somebody took her body and banged it like with a fucking wrecking ball. Like,
She's not an attractive
yo,
not
not at all.
Wow.
That
She's
was
not
the other
attractive
thing.
woman.
So
What-
now
okay,
I'm skipping.
wait.
See, you done got me on the roll now. I got to finish this because this
Finish
is as far
it.
as I made it.
Because then I have a
then
question
we
for
get
you
to
guys.
the point where she giving him head and there's a
It was
scene
the
where
sad-
she was like,
She's like looking at it.
and I was like, what the,
like,
you know
like
what?
it's the chalice.
And then you gonna lie. The first thing I said as I was hitting like the exit button out of that was like, fucking Phil set me up for this bullshit.
That's why it was the first thing. I still can't believe in the show
And
notes.
I
The
saw
first
that,
one.
I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous because he's trying to say a whole monologue and the nigga smashing. He's like, shut up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Crazy thing about that, she's married.
Yeah. I
Now,
was,
I was thinking like,
That's not that weird though.
Yeah,
no,
World
I'm
of
saying
porn.
like, could you be in a relationship?
No.
What a
You
porn
ain't even
star?
gotta finish that.
Sex worker.
Nope.
Like a
No.
stripper? I could
Not-
do a stripper.
You could do a stripper.
I could marry a stripper.
I feel
You're
like for a
talking
lot
married.
of men.
But like a non
You're not
fucking
talking.
stripper.
You're not talking dating. Okay.
Yeah, full on married, and she transitioned into
I
porn
can marry a stripper.
10 years into marriage.
I can
Wait,
marry
wait,
a
these
stripper.
strippers be
Wait, you
wildin'
know
down
what?
south.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I
Strippers
couldn't.
that don't be
No,
fucking.
no. I'm a cancer. We are, like, yeah. No, I'm gonna say it. Like,
I'm in the horoscope, so
yeah. Like, we're emotional. And I can't think about you going out there showing all my shit to other people. Like, I'm like, no, I couldn't. I don't think. Let me say it that way. I don't think that I can marry a stripper or a porn star. And I'm borderline on the fucking Instagram model because some of the Instagram models I'd be
be
looking
wild.
at,
Of
I'd be
course.
like,
Them
They
trips
want-
are paid for by somebody.
you know what I mean? So like, that's weird. But that wasn't her being married was not the weirdest part of this video. The fact that somebody took time to record it and then put it out and then
yeah.
pay her for it.
A lot of money.
Clearly.
She's making
And that's-
very good money.
And the sad part is, like, I put in her name, so that wasn't like I didn't go straight to black. Like I put in her name,
Right.
and like, yo, she is busy. Like she do anal and everything, which is weird to me.
I didn't even make it.
Which is weird to me. Like,
Why is
I
that
feel
weird to
like,
you?
Went backwards.
because she don't have no ass. Like, how do you do anal and you ain't got no ass?
The back shot scenes were not attractive.
See, I didn't even make it that
It
far.
was like all this nigga's testicles. and like,
Okay.
and like
I
thin
guess
ass,
I did
like,
the little amount of porn. I literally couldn't even get through the
like
first
white meat
monologue. I was like,
chicken
this is just
looking
weird.
shits coming out
It's
from his
weird.
testicles.
Like, I made it through that. And that's the other thing, because I told y'all, I don't watch with the volume up. But I listen to this shit. So now she's a real estate agent.
With
And-
a crush.
Yeah. And then he's in the rush to get an apartment.
Yeah.
And then, like, they
What
didn't
this
even
nigga-
set up who he was.
Yeah, what this nigga do for a living to afford
He's
that?
hood nigga number
But,
7. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I hope this is not inappropriate. And then,
I like
then they go,
inappropriate.
yeah, I like inappropriate. And then she's like, then they put like they pan to her hand over
have
her
no
titty
idea how I
with
ended
the
up doing
wedding
this.
ring, and she's like, I'm married.
And he
Like,
goes,
what it was like, I got you or some shit like
didn't
that. Like
care. He was just like-
whatever. Like, bitch, suck the dick. Like
that was the most believable part because niggas be like, I'm married.
No,
Niggas
no.
be like,
that. You know what? That probably was the only real part. Like, he
oh my
probably-
God.
He probably wanted to say, no, let's change that. to
You know what's
me
the
being
crazy
like,
part?
I think they might have ad-libbed that part.
Probably. I don't
maybe.
know, but she's married in real life though. So
Yeah,
her
to an
doing that-
investment banker of like 20 years.
Yeah.
That
So
was
he
10
knows,
years into marriage.
He knows a good
Yeah.
investment. So, okay, how much are they going to give you for this movie? Okay, we can take it. We can do this. Like, he's probably looking. I'm not that mature to look at it from a financial
Oh,
standpoint.
hell no.
Like, bitch, you a hoe.
No,
Okay.
she's an exhibitionist.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I always find on this podcast I'm the
getting
most
paid for it,
open-minded
so-
one of
You are, dude.
always.
I could not do that.
I-
bro.
You
I
would
don't-
marry her?
Well,
not her.
All right, let's say I was already married and my partner was like saying this is where my career looks like it's going. I would probably be at a point where I'd be okay or comfortable with it enough. But
At what point? When your dick stopped getting hard? Like,
no, but it's the reality of like it's a set. Like it's not. They're
But
not going out
you're
there.
better-
But what you have to think about, because I've seen, because I watched some like interviews of
scenes.
like of like porn stars and stuff, and how a lot of them say like sex doesn't really excite them anymore.
Yeah.
That's the
You
problem.
know,
But,
for-
like-
they do it for a living.
And like the people
Exactly. So
and
now,
So you have to be ready to be for
but
her
that's
to be
the other.
like,
But no, that's the other thing. The ones who are
Yeah.
married will say like the only sex that matters is the sex with my partner because
Yeah,
it's
but
No, what I'm
emotional.
saying
emotional.
is
Really
you have to
happening
be
with
ready
you.
because you have to be ready for it to be like, oh, I'm only willing to have sex like once a week because I'm tired from having sex at work or
Yeah.
sex disgusts me now. You have to be ready for that because at one point she won't want to be intimate with you.
Again, like that's something. But if you're already 10 years married,
Yeah.
you have enough openness in your relationship to have that conversation.
Azam,
That's
you
cool.
are a different brother, bro. I
no.
can't do that.
I mean, and
But hold on.
realistically, to each his own. Like, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
saying anyone is wrong for
Oh
that.
no, I'm just saying
speaking personally.
you're mature.
I'm always
and-
the most woke when it comes to these bizarre subjects. I'm
dog,
like, yeah, I
bro.
think I
You're
can
better
survive that.
because like it goes into knowing me. If I was in a position like that, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You could do that, but let me talk to your
Yeah, but
coworker.
that's emotional. That's the thing. Like that's work.
And I don't want to
Like,
talk to him.
yeah.
Because then what if like, oh, we have a good conversation. He a cool dude. And then now he banging my
No.
girl.
I'm talking about female.
Like you want an open marriage if that becomes the reality.
Shit,
Oh,
Nick,
okay.
you gonna think I'm gonna talk to the nigga, bro? Why would I do
No,
that?
no. You was like, I want to talk to the person. I thought
No,
you
I'm
was
saying
talking
your
like the other
coworkers,
person.
like the girl, like girls, colleagues, whatever, like that. Open relationship, bro. I couldn't do that.
That
that
that is
kinda
the
goes
one
into
line
your
I think
other
is
thing.
insane.
but I'm saying, and that's I couldn't do open relationship.
I
think
think
technically speaking, the fact that she's getting paid to have sex with other people kind of opens the
that's
fuck
open.
out of that
You
relationship.
know,
But
it's different because the open relationship means you might do something more. Like,
Listen.
I don't know. For me, like, there's a difference between intimacy and sex.
Yeah.
And for the people who work in sex work, they're like, sex is work,
So-
intimacy is different.
So let me ask you this. Then.
Yeah.
So getting head is not cheating.
Oh no, it's definitely cheating.
How the fuck if I don't feel like it's
Be-
intimate?
Would your partner feel like it's intimate?
Who gives a fuck?
That's the point. That's
Because,
the
like, my
point.
whole thing-
Also, like,
you're right.
it's
That
not
is
like
the
you
exact
just woke
point.
up and went like, you know what? Like, is it intimate to her? Like,
But
to
that's
the girl giving you head, is she interested in you? Because it's not like you both
It's
went
weird
into this
'cause
to
guys-
go to
because
work.
It's weird because guys be like, "Oh,
I
I wouldn't
don't-
smash this girl, but I get head. Head is intimate. They're looking in that like that's."
There's a woman's, your genitals are in her mouth. She has power.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm gonna let you finish that thought, please.
Like, real talk.
Because-
like, I cannot stand that. Yo, I let her give me head. Like,
That's
what
the
if
most
you say the wrong shit, you losing your dick? That's Tifuses.
But
But
okay,
what?
so I'm saying head is not intimate, but you're arguing head is intimate.
I'm arguing there's emotional intimacy.
Wait. So you getting your fucking back blown out by a motherfucker for money. Now I get it. It may not be emotionally intimate, but bitch, his nuts is slapping your stomach.
Okay. You hit
That's
the
pretty
How
intimate.
long
You-
is
you-
this nigga's test?
That's
What
pretty
is all
intimate.
right?
That's pretty
Emotional
fucking intimate.
intimacy. If your partner is a sex worker and you're just a regular dude, a regular fucking job, and you get head from your secretary, that bitch has an emotional investment. On the other hand, those two people fucking have zero emotional
Okay.
investment.
All
They
right.
are there to do their
Okay,
taxes.
But if that's the
Touche.
case, then men shouldn't be considered cheating because men generally, when they have sex with a woman, there's little to no emotion involved. Like,
Especially if it's outside of the relationship.
exactly. So
I disagree with
So
that
if you're
concept
saying-
because there is an emotion. You're just being denied something that made you do that.
no, you're just horny.
That's true. No,
That's
you know
bullshit.
what?
That's bullshit.
No,
Most
I'm
men
gonna
that are
back out.
honest-
I'm gonna back out of our
Yeah.
team, and I'm gonna
Most
go to
men-
your team on that because
There's some emotional shit there.
I mean, shit.
Ain't no- yeah.
It's happened with me.
What do you
So,
mean by
I
emotion,
you know.
though? What do you mean?
All right,
by
so
what
like
kind of
let's say
emotion?
for example, you're in a committed relationship,
Okay.
you got the opportunity to smash. You are not being fulfilled at some point at home.
But wait,
Something in
but
your
hold
relationship's
on.
fucking with you.
My whole thing is this. I feel like, well, you know, me and him were trustees and founders of the Haitian Loyal.
Haitian men don't cheat.
Coalition.
I get it. Yeah.
Haitian men don't cheat.
These are all in
coalition.
vacuum. All in vacuum, baby.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is this is like, being that we're loyal, we don't know anything about that, but we're saying if we were in that position.
Yeah. Well,
Like if I'm dating in a happy relationship, right, and then I don't know,
I'm telling you right now,
like
the fact that you're
I was gonna
stuttering,
say
it wouldn't
Beyonce-
happen.
I was gonna say like Beyonce, but what's the chances of that?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like someone who's like, what if someone who's more attractive than the person you're with? Some dudes will be like, fuck people. Some niggas just be like, what? I get to do what? Okay.
You know what? You know how you use that phrase, ain't shit niggas? They would never gonna be happy either way. Let's say they get with that girl, they cheat on their partner, and that girl's like, you know what? I don't care that you cheated. I'm gonna be with you. They're gonna find a way to fuck that up. Because at the end of the day, there's some emotional bullshit they going through they ain't tight with.
Yeah.
Okay.
People who cheat have emotional bullshit. People who do sex work put their emotions in a box, leave it at the door, go do the physical work like
think
it's
so?
like they're digging a
You know
fucking
what? I
grave.
agree.
Because most sex
But
workers
at
have
the
some
same
kind
time,
of like checkered
my
past.
answer is still no. I'm not gonna marry.
couldn't-
You
mean,
can't say that
I believe-
anymore.
No,
Everybody's
because
gonna check a past.
I have seen where they talk about how there is a detachment from, but it wasn't porn. There was a documentary about hookers. Don't ask. But they talked about they talked about how it's not about the sex for them. So that makes perfect sense. Like it's not an emotional thing for them. And then to piggyback on where you were stating earlier, like, okay, then you have to be ready for the fact that this is what they do for a living. So it may affect your intimacy. Now, I'm not fucking all the time, but I want to know that when I want to, it's there. And I can't determine that
Consistency.
if she's
You like consistency, and
yeah,
you
you know
know
what I'm saying? At least, you know what I'm saying? If the wind blow and I get hard, I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh my God, let me tell you about my day at work. No. I don't want to hear that. The only job I want right now is a blowjob. Get on it. Like,
This
so
nigga
I
here.
cannot, for me personally, I'm not knocking anybody who does it or who would do it. For me, the answer is no. I couldn't do it because at some point,
But what about
when I'm
open
by
rela-
myself at the house and I'm getting the itch, but she at work, now I'm thinking, it's a nigga that is smashing her fucking guts out right now. Emotion, see, and that's the thing. With emotional men, we don't think about whether her emotions is tied into
Rob.
it. We think it's another nigga that's fucking.
But what about open relationship where it's like, all right, well,
Polyamorous?
even so polygamy. So
Polyamorous
it's like,
insanity, but yeah.
hold on. So it's like, all right, well, since she's not always gonna come to my needs, but I could have something. It's better than having a side piece.
But
It is, but I don't think that.
But I couldn't be like I have a weird mind. Maybe I'm territorial and stuff like that. Where I was thinking about another dude with my girl.
But
I feel like this sounds selfish. If I was in an open relationship, I could be open, but you can't. Like,
Every man in human history
Yeah.
has thought
And
that.
And that's where I was. I was like, we probably wouldn't be able to do it because it's not gonna be another dude.
Well,
So-
yeah, I was gonna be like let me correct that. Every very like 100% one on the Kinsey scale straight dude could not handle that.
No.
I find that guys who are a little bit more toward the middle, late left of the section, they can kind of. Because I know a few people who are in polyamorous relationships, and they're
how
happy.
do they do, bro?
I have no idea. It's mind-boggling to me. I would
When
fight the
somebody is
universe.
mind-boggling
What's the
to you, and you're open-minded, then you know it's.
What is
It's
the-
just 'cause
but the people that you know, and I'm sorry for
Hey, go
interrupting
for it,
you. The people that you know, what is the dynamic? Is it a him and two hers, or is it just open? Like they can
swingers.
have a woman and she can have a man.
Let me put it to you like this: the people that I do know don't exist in a really strict gender paradigm.
Okay.
So it's really hard for me to be like,
So basically, what
Yeah,
he's saying is
it's
that the
a-
guy may be bisexual, and
so
so
let's not even throw the word bisexual in there.
Oh,
Maybe
he's-
pansexual would probably be a more effective term. And that's
What, he
just
fucking pans?
That's from.
what the fuck is pansexual? Like bisexual.
recent
like,
information.
All
to
right,
me,
I
like,
guess I'm giving the LGBTQ
listen,
update for you.
bisexual is the B in
on,
the
wait.
LGB.
There's-
This nigga said put some grease in it.
Yeah.
want to fuck some
Like,
pants?
I'm not using a direct.
Okay, so
you know
so
what I'm trying to say, a derogatory.
Here, let me put it like this. So
Thank you.
bisexual means you're attracted to both, but that's just on a physical level is your first forefront to attractivity.
Right.
Pansexual means you're attracted to who they are as a person, and their gender is secondary to that.
Fuck this.
Yeah. Okay.
But you
Yeah,
don't approach
that-
someone based off their who they
So
are. as a
then
person.
everybody is
Well-
pansexual.
Everyone ostensibly can be pansexual, and
Yeah.
that's where you get the gender fluidity, where sexuality fluidity, where you're
Not
like,
in mine.
My
But
head hurts.
Mine don't flow like
but
that.
that's a point. You don't you're not super fluid in that
No,
front.
no,
Other people are.
It doesn't
That's
make
the old school nigga. He's like, no.
Don't even.
Hey,
No, but we understand.
Fuck that.
I'm just saying.
It's
I know
one
how
of
you
those.
cannot find someone attractive and still like approach them. Like no one's like, oh, she's.
Well, and that's what he's
But-
saying. He's saying the attractive is first, but then what makes you pansexual is once you look beyond the sexuality.
Reality, yeah. Once you look beyond,
Like,
so let's
I'll-
say like you met someone,
Okay.
and you're talking to them, and you did not have a romantic interest when you first saw them.
Okay.
But after the conversation, you did. The more you got to know them, the more that developed. That's the way it's been explained to me by people
I
in
thought
that
that
spectrum.
was just like
Falling in
running
love.
and getting
Yeah,
to know
there's falling.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you're running a game and you're talking to a homie, you're like, "Yeah, I guess maybe I could take this homie out sometimes." That would be when you're
What?
pansexual.
Nah, bro.
That's just two niggas talking and getting to know each other and bonding. That's
Yeah,
not-
but when the both of you go, "Yeah, I guess maybe we can fuck," then you're pansexual.
that's a bi
Oh,
nigga getting to know
no.
somebody.
All right, you know what?
I'm just saying, like,
I really
look,
feel
I've learned a
like-
lot from my very
I really
open-minded
feel
people
like-
in my life.
I really feel like y'all trying to set me up. Like, again, like, you know what I'm saying? I said in the comment last week, I feel like y'all know it's in me. And y'all like, hey, what can we say
These aren't
to
Negro
make him
terms.
just go pew, pew, pew,
We didn't
and
make
then
these
shoot off
terms
shit
up.
that I may or may not have
This
to
nigga
edit.
here.
Look, I'm the one
You know what I
person
love about
who's
having
always
us
open-minded.
on the being a part of the podcast, bro. You are the voice of reason, and niggas don't see you.
Yeah, it's
Like, so
great.
it's
I'm
like-
literally the voice of God.
Yeah.
It's that white voice who says these things. I don't know what that means.
Dog, like honest to God, like, and this the crazy thing is because like I was in theater and shit like that, but it's like I'm familiar with the LB,
And the G.
the LB.
Yeah,
What's the G again?
Gay.
Okay.
Yeah, LBG. And
The T is where you get
the
lost,
T's different.
and everything after that
The
is
T-
abject confusion.
Nigga,
Probably.
I don't know what's after T.
It's Japan.
Q. I thought Q was
Questionable.
And that's kind of weird. Cause
Yeah, Q stands
I
for
thought someone
queer.
who's gay is queer.
Nah, doesn't work like that. Because
So-
I
but
guess
so-
you're going to explain this to us.
Wait, hold on. So queer is just like someone who's a little flamboyant.
mensa. So you can exist in a queer spectrum.
Wait, did you just speak to us in a different language?
mensa? Yeah, I guess so.
This motherfucker.
Nigga different.
All right, go ahead. Like,
Yeah,
he's real
it's-
different
it's-
now.
it's-
You're
it's-
you gonna explain shit we don't know by using terms we don't know.
Oh yeah,
okay?
Mensa's that shit with nigga with high IQs.
Yeah, you know
that's
what I'm saying?
That's what
Hey,
Mensa.
hey, this nigga Mensa. What? Yeah.
He was,
Howard-
he was off the roots, nigga.
Yeah,
Mensa.
that nigga. Yeah.
Yeah, Mensa. Yeah, that's what that nigga is.
Oh,
Mensa.
Mensa ass nigga. And then we gonna start using the shit wrong.
Yeah, it's Mensa. That's how you say apples in Spanish, right? Yeah, that's
shit.
what Mensa. This
No,
nigga-
nigga, we only. I think that's what the Jewish people have when they turn 15, ain't it? They got a mitzvah.
bar mitzvah,
They
bar
got
mitzvah, a bar
no,
mitzvah.
no, it's
That's what
only
they
a
have.
bar mitzvah, like when the parents have liquor. But when they don't have the liquor, it's just a mitzvah. Nigga.
Oh,
See,
yeah,
man,
boy.
y'all
I feel
niggas
you,
need
my
to
nigga.
learn.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas need to learn.
Hey.
The fuck?
I was gonna stretch it far. Ayo, that's a girl. No, nigga, that's a Mensa.
Sound like that. Y'all niggas sound like that old Damon Wayans character.
Oh Lord.
That Clayton Bigums nigga from In Living Color.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
I had
It's
to-
fine. I completely lost my train of thought on how to explain
no,
queer.
it's-
Look, it's deep. It's. I wouldn't say it's complex, but it is at the same
So-
time.
It
my
is
whole
if you're
thing-
not open-minded.
Yeah. It's if you're not willing to like be like, okay, I can accept that immediately, and you're like trying to use like
Logic.
I'm not going to use logic as the best frame,
Yeah,
but
no.
like a cultural framework from before now, it's fucking hard.
you know what? It comes to a point.
And it really, go ahead,
It comes
I'm
to
sorry.
a point where you feel like for instance, like if you're talking to if you know someone and they want to be called by a pronoun or talk to
Yeah.
them this way, after a while, it's like, you know, I don't even feel like learning some new shit. I'm just not even gonna. And it's like you're being ignorant because you don't want to cause problems.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, and it's a lot to learn.
It
Like,
is
I
a
don't-
lot to learn.
I mean, it's
I mean,
not
well-
at some point. Like, all right, so the easiest framework I always tell
I think
people
the
is
easiest-
just say yes, and whatever they want to be called, you call them and you move on.
Yeah, I call
it's
them
not
by
that
that.
simple.
Actually,
That's
I
the
think
simplest part. But
I
when you
think
try to
the
like
simplest-
understand it, then
I
it's
have
like it's complex.
I have a homeboy, right? Where when I first moved to Florida in 3rd grade, he's 2 grades ahead of me, but his sister's younger.
Okay.
And growing up, this girl was always angry, beating up on the boys in the class. And I'm like, whoa, what's up? Come to find out, well, it's transgender. transition to a guy, and it's like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He probably was beating up on them because she felt some type of way. Now the crazy thing is saying the person's name,
Yeah.
and because you knew them longer as a woman, and you just met the nigga they are today.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard.
Yeah,
That's the hardest thing ever because it's like I don't know Bruce Jenner, so I'm like, all right, I don't know this nigga or whatever. But it's like someone you grew up knowing this way.
Yeah.
Like it's like if you told me, yo, bro, I'm this now, and it's like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be.
I think the easiest thing is to just not give a fuck. And I think the hardest part about that is when you say it that way, then it's like, oh my God, you're disrespectful. No. When I say I don't give a fuck, it's because I'm judging you as a person, not as what this thing is. For example, my sister is a lesbian. I guess the most off the wall shit I've ever said to her was, like, she'll call and she'll be like, brother, and I was like, brother, sister, and like that shit pissed her off. But it wasn't like it got to a point where she was like, you know what, this nigga ignorant, but I know he don't mean nothing by it. Like, so the thing with me is, I don't really care. Like, if that's your lifestyle, it affects you. Like, okay, you're gonna have some struggle, and I get it. So what I'm not gonna do is be a part of that struggle that you have to go through in the sense of being like negative, because all I know is growing up as a man that was heterosexual. So I can't relate to you, like on that level to say like, I know what you're going through. I don't. And I think the biggest thing that people misconfuse is do not get the alphabet people and black people and the struggles between the two mixed up, because it's two different struggles. Like, people say, well, you know, you black, so you go through things, like, so it's kind of the same discrimination. It's actually not. Not saying that they have a choice, but they have a choice wherein they could hide it if they wanted to. I can't hide being black. Like, I'm going to always be black. I can talk how I want to talk, things of that nature. Like, I can't hide being my race.
You can't ever come out the closet as black. Is what
Right.
you're saying.
Like, yeah, there's no coming out party. The coming out party was when my mama had me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
boop,
never
oh,
like,
yeah,
hey,
he's a little
y'all,
nicklet.
I'm
Let's
a
keep it
nigga.
moving. So I think, like, when you go into it like that, because I seen the look that you gave me, like, that's where shit gets, like, so for me, I don't really care. Oh, okay, so you're a man that identifies as a woman. Okay, cool. So you're not Steve, you're Stephanie. Okay. I think the only difference is, like you say, when you grow up with someone and you know them as a certain thing.
It's that transition time.
It's gonna
but
take
like
a
most
little
people,
while.
they're
But
they're
I mean,
accepting
like,
of
for
that.
me, I'm not the person that's gonna be like, it's kind of fucked up. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
But
he
that
was
brings-
born to me. I'm not that. Oh, well, God made Adam and Eve. I'm
Yeah,
not that
fuck that.
dude.
I hate
You know
that
what I
shit.
mean? Like,
the whole
at the end of the
pre-chief.
day, because, well, that's a whole nother podcast.
But my
Yeah.
whole thing is this. One thing I don't realize is like, especially the black community, bro. Homophobia, bro. That shit is ridiculous.
It's
well, that's a whole nother podcast.
we talked about it on another podcast. The three of us,
Podcast that's
yeah.
been lost forever.
No, it exists.
Nigga, that shit.
Is that the
This-
one?
It sounds
Is
like
that the one?
it's like listening to something on AM.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah. That is,
You went in too. It was
yeah,
like a
this was
whole,
before
like,
I got
2
all this
hours.
gear.
but it's crazy because like I don't know where it starts off from.
What do you mean?
Like just the homophobia in the black culture.
Nah,
Like, I
it's
don't.
just cultural. It's just different cultures.
It's crazy because like I can only talk about black culture because this is all I know. I'm not like a fucking anthropologist,
Yeah.
so I can't talk about other cultures and shit like that.
Everything is taught.
Huh?
Everything is taught.
Yeah, like one thing I saw is like there's an actor named Ellen Page. She has a show where she go around the world or shit like that.
Yeah.
And she went to Jamaica, and there was this nigga with dreads. Ellen Page is actress, is lesbian, and the guy who's with her is gay, right? So they're talking to this dude, Rasta dreads. He's talking about Jamaica, like how the people were resilient. They wanted to be treated like equals. You know, talking about that, they bonded together and they let it be known that we're beautiful people and, you know, we deserve to be treated right. And you hear all the soft music playing and Ellen Page is like, what about gay people? He's like, nah, man, that's gross. Like,
Yeah.
like, you clearly got a problem. What the fuck? That's an abomination.
And
That shit, and they were like, whoa, because they thinking, this nigga woke. And then when they said that, they're like, oh, no, man, they clearly have a problem. But that's the thing.
I think it's training. It's training. And because the hardest thing about the situation with my sister was that my stepdad and my mom are preachers. So the way aside from her being my sister and me loving her for her being my sister, the way that I reconciled it in my heart was that I love her. Like, it doesn't matter who she loves. I love her. Now, if you want me to get into the Christian faith, my problem with Christianity is that it's highly subjective. And it's really up to you. Because what you're going to tell me is like, oh, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, well, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Yeah, well, the same damn Bible you reading out of say don't judge people. But yet here you are. So my whole thing is, the way that I look at it, and this is why I say I don't give a fuck, is if my belief is correct that there's a God and there is right and wrong, he determines what is right and wrong, not me. So for me to say that your lifestyle, and I'm sorry for pointing at
It's
you.
fine. You can put it, man.
To say that your lifestyle is wrong for me to say it. Because ultimately, this whole afterlife shit, we're not going to know until when? The afterlife.
You got to think about it like someone sat in a room and be like, yo, we going to write some shit.
You know
and
what
it's
I mean?
it's going to dictate the whole world. And it's crazy because it's like, no one like.
And it's not right.
You got to think about it like there's literally God was savage.
God was a thug.
At first in the Old
Oh,
Testament.
you wanted to laugh at that.
I'm Muslim, man. Bible's a interesting book to me.
God is a thug.
Dog, in the Old Testament, he was wilding.
He was
wilding.
People, and when you say that, you can't say God was a thug to a Christian because they look at you crazy like, oh my God, that's
fair.
blasphemy.
That's facts,
no,
yeah.
You forget this is the same God that was like, y'all niggas ain't doing what the fuck I told y'all. Rain.
This killed some niggas.
You forgot this is the same God that has I don't know if it's a sense of humor, but he has some type of goddamn shit where he told, was it Abraham? Hey, man, take Isaac to the hilltop and kill his monkey ass.
And he was like, hey, nigga, what you doing, bro?
Like, he let him go as far as pulling out, and he was ready, and he was like, oh, no, hey, bitch, I was kidding. Shit.
Gotcha.
I didn't know you were going to do it. Hey, man, check out that ram in the bush. God is a thug. Like, and so to believe
You want to hear how much of a thug he is? This nigga came back as his son, who's him, and it was like, yo, we ain't on that no more. It's like when someone go to prison, like before they go to prison, they hard, and they come out like, my brother and sister, we are all one.
Yeah.
We're forever one.
and that's the thing. Like, I saw this video, and I'm going to let it go. I saw this video where this guy was talking about Christians and how Christians are so against the homosexual community. And he went on to say, so I'll task you with this. Name me one song that you sang in church that wasn't written by a gay person. Matter of fact, let me see your choir director.
Yes. Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And his whole thing was like, but then you want to go by what the Bible say. Well, if we're going to go by what the Bible say, then we shouldn't be eating crabs and shrimps and lobsters and shit like that. Church people eat the fuck out of seafood.
Oh, man.
And then they be like, well, Jesus was a fisherman. No, he wasn't. He was a fucking carpenter. He hung with fishermen.
See, I don't like. Again, I'm
Yeah.
Muslim.
But
Man.
again,
He's like an
it
addendum
just-
in mine.
And that's the whole thing. The narrative, and this is why I say it's subjective, is because you take it and you use it how you want to use it.
Oh yeah.
And so at the end of the day, everybody's still sinning.
Oh, absolutely. It's just that whose sin bothers you the most?
Exactly.
Let's say,
And then
oh,
it
you
goes
drink?
back to your question.
It's like, oh, you drink? Oh, I drink too. So, okay, I relate to that. Oh, this nigga snuff coke?
Oh, that nigga is. I
That
don't fuck with
nigga live different. I
Oh,
can't
that
fuck
nigga,
with this nigga.
That nigga messing with the white girl? You talking about Becky? No, the other white girl.
But no,
That- yeah, like,
but that's the crazy thing to me. And but it's so crazy because like within the culture, if you tell, I remember I told someone that's like, yo, God could have made his schedule. Why did he take the day off on a Sunday? Like if his Sabbath day is Saturday, that means he went back to work on a Sunday. Why would he choose that work schedule? Like why would he go back to work on that day?
and
That's
why
weird.
you got people that go to church on Sunday. Like, on
So it's
Saturday.
like, so is this always a weird thing? But you can't question it. If you question it, that means, oh, you fucked up person. I don't know. I think I'm saying this for going to Catholic school for so long.
Yeah, I was definitely sitting here thinking, like, that's some years of Catholic school coming out. You're like,
Yeah, but I always thought about that's weird.
And-
Like,
and
there's
it-
two creation stories.
And it is. And I think the weirdest part about the Bible, and the number one reason why I say that it's subjective, is because if you read the Bible, in my opinion, in trying to translate it, you are now trying to put yourself in the mind of God.
That's fair enough.
Because, like, going to some churches, they tell you, oh, well, after Jesus was born and crucified, the Old Testament doesn't mean anything anymore.
Most churches is just trying to find the translation that best fits what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel
exactly. And it goes to what it is that you're trying to promote. That's why, like, church is church. I don't go on Easter and I don't go on Christmas because that's super fake. But when I go, and luckily for me, I get something from it. I don't necessarily know if that's what the pastor meant, but it was what translated in my spirit. So, you know, even back to what started this, like, if you gay, you gay.
All churches ain't the same though.
All churches are not the same.
I've been to
They're
churches
not.
where people are like yelling, hooting, hollering, and
Oh yeah, that's what I grew
can't-
up in. And then the touching the, got to bring out the white sheet. That's probably the same white sheet from last week.
I
don't
know
think nobody
nothing
watched
about
it.
any of the things you're describing.
Yo,
Yo.
let me tell you something. Hero got the craziest fucking church story I've ever fucking heard.
Nah,
nigga, you
not
got
the porn story.
Nah, nigga, you gotta fucking
the porn
bro.
story.
It fits in, bro. You gotta yo.
All right, so I was maybe like 13 or 14 years old, and I was at church, and they're preaching and stuff. Oh, and they're 13, 14 years old. They're preaching. The pastor's going off, you know, and he starts like calling people out, like come to get prayed on by like their sin and stuff. And he's saying he's having visions and stuff, and he's like, oh, if you ever cheat on your wife, come to stand, blah blah blah. He's calling people out. People that he saw. He's saying he saw in like a vision. Then he gets to the porn. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, hold on. My whole thing is,
This nigga finna call me.
Yes.
I got a question.
Yes.
When he was like, oh, you cheated on your wife. He was pulling niggas up front.
No, he was like pointing people out and stuff. So here's
So
the thing.
hold
Here's
on,
the thing.
so
But here's the thing.
Oh my God.
So he had everyone like your head down or whatever. He had people like going to get like touching people, whatever. Hey, come
Come on, you know how
blah,
niggas
blah.
is though.
So
You
the
cheat
porn
on-
part.
If my girl gets pulled up, I'm
So
fucking.
the porn part. I'm hoping and praying. I'm like, oh God, don't come to me. Don't come to me. I'm looking up. Everyone's head down, being all faithful and listening. I'm going, who's watching porn?
Exactly. Listen,
I'm lucky I
And you know
wasn't
what's the
picked.
funny part? You know, someone's gonna pull up.
I'm lucky I wasn't picked, bro.
Oh, and you was cheating on your wife. You know every woman in that bitch
He's
that
going
was
by
with
like
her
different
husband was
sins
like-
and
then they got in the car after church like,
oh
you
man,
better
bro.
be glad Pastor wasn't
That
talking about you.
was the most scared I
Because
was.
if
in
you
church.
believe in Jesus, you was gonna meet him today.
Mom on one
Now let's-
side, dad on the other side, I was like, oh
Now let's
God.
just go into the Golden Corral, baby, and get these shrimp and crabs.
I was dying, bro.
This nigga did a
I was
callback
dying.
on him.
I was like, oh God,
So
don't
did
do
he
no-
really pull people up
Yes,
on
like,
stage
I'm
that were
telling you,
cheating?
yes. No, it's different. It was different things. So it was like cheating. It was people if you ever stole, if you ever.
But my whole thing is this: why would you, if you're like calling out people for that, why you
He
pulling
said
them
people
up?
that he thought he saw from like a you know how he saw with their dreams and shit.
Yeah, Haitian people are ridiculous
So
with the dreams.
it was
Well,
a very.
I'm not Haitian, but
it was
we
a
like
tense
that too.
day. Dreams in Haitian communities are like they might as well be like the fortune telling. Like
Yeah, that's how it is.
like
in our
God
family.
forbid, forbid if you're trying to go out and your mom's like, oh, I had a dream.
You're
that you
like,
got in a
fuck.
car accident.
Fuck up the whole weekend.
And you're mad because you spent like all last week trying to work your way up to asking them to go out. Then they said yes, and they're like, I
You
had a
thinking they
dream.
fucking with you.
can't go out no more.
No.
And then when I ask you, you mad? Yes, nigga, I'm mad.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think that it is what it is, and if you believe that to be a Christian is to be Christ-like, and if you believe that Christ is about love, then how do you hate?
So with the guy hugging that woman, I feel like, is that Christ-like, or do you feel like
I
that's
believe
just
that
being
he believed it was Christ-like.
Someone I know, my friend's mom sent me that clip of him being like, oh, you know, like, oh, like, you know, one of those like shit on YouTube, Instagram where they're like, oh, look at what he did. This is Christian. Like, she sent that to me. I said, nope.
Again, I believe Christianity is subjective. The one thing that I take away from Christianity is that they teach you that there was only one perfect person that ever walked the face of the earth. Good thing it ain't me. So, bitch, I can hate you. I'm not going to hug you. Now, when you asked the question, I gave my initial answer. I believe that he believed it was Christ-like. And I think that ultimately, despite how we feel about it, he the one got to live with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I feel
yeah.
like a situation. It's weird. Like I've read on I read on. It was like a document where like in black communities when some shit happens, it's like we feel like it happened to one of our people. You know, so like when you hear about someone getting killed it's like when someone get killed, it literally fucks with us as opposed to someone else. It doesn't affect them as well because we feel like if she would have got like 30 years, I feel like it would have set a precedent that like
Well, like even when we were talking about OJ, and I was like, he did that shit, and we were both like, I mean, we're happy he got off ostensibly for killing her, but it was just because.
Wait, I didn't say that.
Let's be let's be real.
Uh-oh.
As a collective community, the black community was like,
I mean,
we were like, we just needed him to get
clapping.
off. It did not matter if he did it or didn't do it. He
it's
had
more
to get
that
off.
he beat
Oh,
the
I was-
system.
Yeah, that's it.
Not that.
Oh, I was clapping. Totally. My whole hesitation to you was like the difference between being convicted and not being convicted. Now, what we believe is that
he did that shit.
He did it, or he damn sure had something to do with it. And that was like my difference between him and her was like she did it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know she did it. She was convicted of it. But yeah,
she's white
but
girl who
that's
cried.
also the thing with the black community, and that's the hard thing about the black community. I did a video where I talked about how we're so indecisive, and I used the OJ thing. The OJ thing was like when OJ went on the slow speed chase. First thing the black community was like, man, this nigga did it. God damn, Juice. Then when they was like, oh, don't fit, must have quit. OJ's innocent. That's what you get. White people always trying to take a brother down. No, this brother needed to be taken down. But that's how we are. And then even in a situation like this, I think the thing that we should be more outraged about is that she got 10 years. Not who gives a fuck if the brother hugged her or not. She got 10 years.
But-
and the part that they're overlooking is she may only do 5.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we should be
But
outraged
the thing
about.
is, the reason why people are outraged is because it's like a domino effect. That him doing that, if he was on that stand crying like I can't
She would have
forgive-
still probably got 20 on whatever
No,
max
but
99.
no, but the thing is, the jurors use.
You're going 15?
But the jurors use
I'm going
her.
with 15.
The jurors use his brother as one of the reasons why they're like, oh,
Because that's easy.
yeah, of course,
That's
that's what I'm
easy.
saying.
That's like, no, never mind. I
'Cause,
thought
like-
I had a good scenario, but it
Because
wasn't
like his
gonna be
mom,
good.
I don't know if you guys know about his mom, but Botham Jean's mom is like, no, I don't forgive them what they did to my son. I will never forgive them, whatever.
Exactly.
But so I feel like if the family had taken a united stand of like, hey, we don't forgive this lady. She has to pay for what she did to our son, my brother, whatever. Then that would have been different. But the fact that most of the family's like, oh, we love her. Hopefully, you can be friends one day. Botham Jean would have forgiven her and said she could go free, as if to speak for him. Like that's
And that's
people
the
use that as an
dumbest
excuse.
shit
You feel me?
ever. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry if it offends people. That's the dumbest shit ever. You can't speak for a dead person because they're dead.
Yeah.
And as cold as that sounds, he's not dead because he died of natural causes.
Yeah, not like he did something
He
either.
died because somebody came in his apartment while he was eating ice cream and killed him.
Yeah.
Don't give me that
I'm
bullshit.
happy
Exactly.
he didn't have any photos of him looking gooned out. Like all he
Like,
had a
you know what I
sweater
mean?
vest.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah,
because
no
they would've-
mugshot.
they
He
would've
was in a
put it
nice
out there.
apartment complex. It was they had no like had he even been remotely like had just one picture of him just gooned out, it'd have been over.
It would have been over.
So much as a peace sign
hell,
would have gotten him.
That,
Yeah.
that was their wing in the prayer with the weed in the apartment. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna make him look like a criminal. I mean, let's hit something closer to home. The guy Corey that got killed in Palm Beach Gardens.
That was
Yeah.
Like,
bullshit.
at the end of the day, like people, I'm a skepticist.
Oh,
So don't-
you're skeptic?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm.
You know,
yeah.
niggas like to add a
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
fuck that.
skeptic.
Yeah, fuck your boots. So like when it's all said and done, like when you look back over everything, like Palm Beach Gardens would have really liked for it to kind of just go away silently. So that's why within so many days they went ahead and fired him. Like they knew what the fuck was up. Like they knew his character. They knew it was a possibility that shit wasn't right. Like this nigga lying off rip.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, they knew about the goddamn All-Star call before it was even released. So the reality of it is, I'm going to throw you a bone. Same thing with OJ. Nigga, you got off. We know you did it. Now just go live your life quietly, nigga. Oh, Oh, now you want to steal back the shit that you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got to go to jail now. Like, it's that thing. And even with it, like the forgiveness part. My mom, again, I told you, my mom's a Christian. I never had this conversation with her, but I'm willing to put money on it. That even knowing that my brother was wrong in what he did, I think she still is having a hard time forgiving the guy that killed him.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a realistic
It's not the
thing.
first time. Like when the shooting happened in Charleston, the family members were like, "Oh, we forgive you."
They weren't even buried yet.
Because
I'm like, yo,
Bodies were still cold and in the
Fuck
morgue.
that
and
fucking
and I
kid.
think like it's a thing. Like you have to. If I say I'm a Christian, you're gonna look at me a certain way every time I say something. So if I come in here and I'm like, I'm a Christian, and then you start talking about porn, but I'm not disgusted by it, and I'm like, well, I would have fucked that bitch.
Yeah.
You gonna look at me like, what kind of damn Christian are you?
that's one of the reasons.
And it goes back to training, even down to the whole why does the black community look at homosexuality a certain way? Because it's about the training, the mind frame. Hey, a man's supposed to be a man, a woman's supposed to be a woman. Da 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 da. Everything ain't that fucking cut and dry. Because the reality of it is, the black community is probably one of the biggest communities where pedophilia runs rampant. You see what I'm saying? But we're not going to talk about that out loud. You see what I'm saying? So it's that thing like, and if you gay, don't you fucking tell nobody. Shut the fuck up. You in the closet? Stay in the closet.
what were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just saying, like what he's saying about how you can't say to be a Christian. He's still like, I feel like personally, like I've never, like at least in the last couple, like 4 or 5 years, I've never felt comfortable saying, "Oh, I'm a Christian," because like growing up, I've always been the type to say, I'm cynical. So I was always
You
the type.
impressed me how the mic be over here and you talking it.
My bad. My bad. My bad.
If you haven't
I'm not
noticed,
used
when he
to it.
starts talking,
I use two hands. So
That's uncomfortable to watch.
it's like I took the stands away thinking that would solve the problem.
Whoa.
I took the
That's
stands away
whoa.
to solve the problem.
Now we going back to the porn.
I'm not a comedian. I'm not.
It's not even not a comedian. Like, I guess I can't say shit.
I'm done. We need this
You guys
nigga.
are just so okay. The point I was making is,
We're going to have to get him a head mic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like-
You're gonna get a
He
laugh
look
mic
like
next time.
1995 R. Kelly with that shit on.
The point I was making is, growing up, I've always been the type to be like, how can you say you're Christian, but you're still doing X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
And then you're coming at me for doing the same X, Y, and Z. So I don't feel comfortable personally telling anyone, oh, I'm Christian. I'm just like, oh, I believe in God. I believe in, I might believe in Jesus. I might believe in this, but I never say I'm Christian.
Right.
Because I never want what I do to be a reflection of God. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
'Cause
totally
I've always
understand.
believed, like, for example, that one commandment, was it, thou shalt not take God's name in vain? The way I've always taken it is, don't ever do anything in God's name that isn't a reflection of God.
Right.
So, like, for example, not using this, I'm not trying to be offensive, but like people that, that say, oh, in like Saudi Arabia, those have people that, blow themselves up and say, I'm doing it for God, or people that, that will molest somebody and say, oh, I'm just praying for you. I'm trying to get the Satan's out of you. That's what God wants in the Christian community. Those things, I think those are what's, really, that's what that verse, that type of commandment refers to when it says, don't taste God and don't ever put God in something that,
not
doesn't
God,
represent him. Exactly. So I've never felt comfortable.
Because that's the whole
So
thing.
that's why I tell people, if they ask me, hey, where are you Christian? I'm like, nah, I believe in God though. But if you want to look into it, do what you got to do. I can give you I can put you in some directions, but don't use me as an example.
I 100% agree with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I said it to somebody and they looked at me sideways, and I was like, Christianity is a business. Like, and the thing that
That's
you
fair
have
enough.
to take in consideration is everything that you do in life is a business, even down to the
Marriage.
LGBTQ community. Like, at the end of the day, and the reason that I say it's a business is because when you are a Christian and people look at you to be Christ-like. So everything that
Trying
you
to see,
do,
do you represent
right? So
the
you
corporation
basically
you're claiming?
you're a marketing firm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which goes to what you're saying. So, like, I'm not going to say I'm a Christian because there may be some things that you deem not to be
Yeah.
Christian.
I'm
Like,
honest about
and
it.
now I'm, because some people just look for
I'm
shit.
about
The
it,
fuck.
because when I say it to people that are like older or people like in the Haitian community, they're like, oh, so if you died today, would you go to heaven? I'll be like, well, being honest, I think I'm going to hell if I were to die today.
Oh, yeah.
That's just being honest. Like, I'm not one.
And the funniest part about that, and I'm not going to say
I'm
nothing
honest
else
about
about
it.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Like, anybody that's a real Christian that really has studied it knows that nobody dies and go to heaven.
Yeah. So
Nobody goes to heaven.
I'm Muslim.
And-
I got nothing to add to this conversation.
And like, again, and that's another thing. So we'll talk about like, oh, Muslims don't eat pork. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, if I bless my food, no. Well, the Bible tells you there are certain foods you shouldn't eat.
Including pork.
being one of them.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that is because it's a
unclean.
belief that the
Yeah.
spirit of that thing that you eat transfers to you.
Who was the nigga that looked at a pig and said,
Well,
"Nah, we can't."
pigs are nasty ass creatures.
They are
Pigs eat
very
anything.
nasty. And when you think about
Makes
it,
sense.
shrimp,
Yeah.
crabs, lobsters, they're the filter of the sea.
A lot of the
Like,
things.
that's crabs. Like, if
Yeah.
you ever notice, the way that they get crabs is by decaying meat. They put that bitch in the cave, drop it to the bottom, and the crabs come and they get it.
Well, what I would say is, to be fair to like ancient times, a lot of things that they said not to do is for health reasons.
Yeah, it's
Things
public health.
I'm pretty sure.
Because eating pork, if you're a regular ass dude in the 1600 BC,
Not even 16.
and you're
Nigga,
cooking
500.
pork, you can't get pork hot enough to kill all those bacteria.
No.
You can't cook fucking lobsters, which are fucking what do they call them?
Crustaceans.
Not crustaceans, but they're
bottom
bottom
feeders?
feeders.
Bottom feeders.
Yeah,
Bottom
bottom
feeders
feeders.
that
Yeah.
are bottom feeders. You can't cook that well enough to ever get it truly clean. So I always say look things in the context, and also don't always do your own research. You feel me?
Everything gotta be
in terms of
researched.
Christianity, whatever religion
Yeah.
you want to be in, like to do that religion, do that research. Because I was the type where in high school, in college too, I looked up some of the different religions. I looked up their texts, compared them, all that shit. I was a reading type, so I had no friends or whatever. But
No, it's cool. Sometimes you don't need friends.
Yeah.
I had friends.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college. So boom, there it is. Like,
Flat out.
like, hey, some shit is just not what
Yeah.
it's cranked up to
No,
be.
I feel
But
you, I
that's
feel
the
you.
thing. My dad once said to me, and I keep saying this, and I'm gonna let it go. But my dad once said to me, because my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family grew up in the church.
Yeah.
And my dad said that he had to get to a place wherein he could stop looking at the church the way that he was looking at it.
yeah,
And the only way that he was okay with going back to church was once he realized that he was the key to his relationship with God.
Exactly, and that's how I see it.
The relationship that he had with God was within him. Now, I'll go to the church as the sanctuary, but
of course.
if the church ain't doing right, it's on me to figure it out, but it doesn't determine my relationship with
Exactly.
God. And then, once he came to peace with that, now my dad goes to church, and it is what it is. And we'll have conversations where he'll say, well, we had this preacher today, and I don't know what he was on, but I just prayed to God that God touch his heart. Like, that's
Yeah.
and that's the thing with black community, especially like older black community. And I
they
think
can pray
like this is
everything
the
off.
thing exactly. And here's the difference to where we are based upon where we were. Back when I was growing up, because I'm older than everybody, like my great grandmother was a great grandmother's age. My grandmother was a grandmother's age. So they would,
They're
baby,
older.
bless your heart, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you in Jesus. And now you got to get grandma out the club because you see what I'm saying. So then the whole teaching of the religion is different, and so the perspective is different. And now we're more inquisitive. How do I know what you're telling me is right?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
So
fair
now I
enough.
got to
But
do
you
the
seem
research.
wrong for being skeptic.
And you seem wrong for being skeptic to the people who are just going to follow the yellow brick road based
Yeah.
upon what was taught to them. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that Christianity is subjective to the person who accepts it and how they accept it.
Because once you get them to a corner, you ask them shit they don't know. Like they'll say, "My faith tells me."
Yeah. Oh,
fucking
no,
hate
no.
that.
It depends
It's like
on
my
I
faith.
fucking hate that.
Let me tell you something. I was
That
talking to
must
some-
be the Haitian community. You get
Oh,
a real,
no.
you get the real nigga community there. Well, how in the hell is you gonna let the devil use you?
same thing. It's the
I
same
hate that
shit.
as well.
Trust me, it's my
Because I'm
first
asking you a question now. The devil using me? Wait, did you see the devil? How did you know the devil was?
I feel like
Trust me.
people blame the devil for too much shit.
A lot of shit, and the devil
But nigga
sitting back
ain't do
like,
it.
God damn, nigga, like really, bitch?
But trust me,
I
it's,
mean,
it's,
I ain't no angel. Like
listen.
that, but-
It's much worse coming from a community where voodoo is like a honest to God second religion in Haiti. So like where you say talking about the devil, like that's like they'll have like whole sermons about like getting the devil out and dropping saying out your life and spirit. So trust me, in the Haitian community, it's way stricter and more because they believe. The Haitians truly believe in things like spirits and ghosts and
Oh, we
people
do.
turning to animals.
And I think it just
Like-
depends. Well, okay, that part.
Yeah, like, no, it's
that
cultural.
part's a little different. But at the
cultural.
same time, listen, some of the shit, like you were saying earlier, so it's a lot of my family.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that parallel the Haitian community.
Yeah, yeah.
We have dreams, like,
Yeah.
and I'm
Of
not
course.
talking that. I dreamt about a fish type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay,
I saw your
boy,
face.
I'll give you. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll give you a great example. Before my brother died, I had a dream, and I had a dream that I had died, and like there were certain aspects of the dream that had I paid attention to, I would have known who it was before he died. So like that's my family. Like that's how we are, and it is certain things like fucking spirits. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
There was a point in time when I got old enough to understand shit. I would never fucking go to my grandma's house at night.
Yeah.
Baby, can you step out the back door and get that? No,
Hell
grandma,
no.
it's okay. If you didn't want it off the line before, like when my grandmother had a washing machine, but she didn't have a dryer,
Yeah.
so we put shit on the clothesline.
Fuck
But grandma, if you ain't wanted me to get it before the sun went down, I don't really think we
You don't
need it.
need it.
And then like the funniest part is like it was based upon stuff that she had told us. Like I was telling somebody at work, there are certain things that I do to this day that's based upon shit that my grandmother told me. Like if I'm driving, and they say it's a dark street, and I see somebody walking, but it looks weird that they would be walking in that area. When I pass them, like I look in the rearview mirror, like to make sure I still see them.
Yeah.
Disappear,
Because
shit
my
like that.
grandmother told me a story about how she was riding with her friends, and there was 3 ladies sitting at the bus bench, and she thought it was weird
Yeah.
because the bus had already stopped running for like hours. Say she looked back and wasn't nobody there.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with her backyard because one day she said she saw a little Indian boy in the backyard.
Oh hell no!
I'm not fucking.
Oh,
You see what I'm
no.
saying? So again, and that's
Oh,
one of those
no,
things.
no,
Then
no,
there's
no.
some
No,
people.
no, no. Oh,
there's
no.
some people that'll listen to that and be like, "These niggas is crazy. When they gonna be funny again?" So let's move on.
Well, I'm just gonna call it. That's the end of this one, bro.
It's
Oh,
like an hour and a
man.
half already,
I
and
didn't
I was
even-
only outside for like 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
Damn.
I just like
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
you know
it's
what?
fine.
You got on a high horse and you had things to say and you championed
Yeah,
through that
but don't
battlefield.
say that
This
because
was for you actually, because I felt like you had demons.
You
in
had demons. You had to
really-
set.
You had to
free.
heal, brother.
Yeah.
It was your intervention.
y'all
Rob.
not gonna speak in tongues. Mama son, mama.
I hate that shit. I hate
no.
that. I hate that.
No. First, again, I want to reiterate, I'm Muslim. I don't do that
Shit. You
shit.
don't speak in tongues. In
No,
like,
that's
mosque?
not a fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't switch to Arabic mid
Though,
prayer.
yeah, Arabic. It's a whole other language, not just like a dude. I've watched videos of
Sounds
white people
Arabic.
doing that, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things to watch.
So hold on. So white people don't catch the Holy Ghost.
Oh, they do. It's just
I feel like
terrifying.
if you
Their
saw-
ghosts are different. Their ghost is like a Confederate soldier plantation.
No, their
owner.
ghost screams in other languages. If like,
Yo, I like this nigga. Like he say the shit that you want to think, but
Those
you
are
don't want to.
white ghosts.
I'm with him on that one. I'm with him on that one. Look, just before I end this podcast, because I have the power, I hit the button. If you want to see white people speaking in tongues in a documentary, Jesus Camp, it's on Hulu, and it's fucking insane. It's one of the greatest documentaries ever made.
I'm watching
Fucking
that shit
horrifying.
tonight. Well, this is this week's episode of the Papi Negro podcast. Had my dog Robert Bass,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
had the homie Hero,
Hey.
and my dog behind the boards, the voice of reason, Azam.
Yeah, that's me.
It's a Papi Negro podcast, forever roasting,
Hey
forever
man,
petty.
wait, hold on. Oh.
Nigga, how you gonna tell me what the
I
fuck
was
is
getting
wrong
ready to
with you?
say, like, we was
What
serious.
the fuck is wrong with you?
You need to tell these niggas about the white girl with the bad body porn where they can find it at.
No.
Okay, I'll help Robert with that. It's available on all pornography sites that are all free because we live in a
This nigga
time
wanna
frame
end my
where
credits.
porn is accessible at all times.
I was about to
You're
plug
welcome.
something.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
thought
are you
you
gonna
was
plug a show? Like, no, man. Just
I released
watch,
this on Friday.
Watch porn.
Yeah. Look at
What's
you.
porn?
Just look for a very skinny, semi-anorexic white girl getting pummeled.
She's like 46. Be
She
nice.
said pummeled.
Pummeled.
I
All
don't
right, I'm
feel
closing
like
out,
yeah,
guys.
close
It's
this
not
shit.
attractive.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.